Howdy team, Mr. Edwards here, and I am here to show you our final activity to wrap up our CO2 Slayer challenge. And this is going to be a culmination of all the work that we've put in up until this point. And if you've done the work, this should actually be a super easy activity for you to do because a lot of it is just plugging in all the stuff that you've created. So this is the point in the engineering design process where we reveal our final rocket, okay? So we're gonna be revealing it to our colleagues. You will actually have 2 weeks to work on this presentation, which is more than enough time, but for some of you, you might be a little bit behind, and so you're having to spend a lot of time getting caught up. So you're gonna complete your presentation, and if you finish early, you can also fix your grades in my class, and you can support your colleagues that are struggling building their rockets. I would really appreciate that if you help support your colleagues. The final presentation's due December 11th, okay? That's the week before we leave for winter break. So what's really great about this activity is that the presentations are already pre-made for you. I built them in Keynote, PowerPoint, and Google Slides. You can choose any of the three. And all you have to do is plug in your pictures and your answers, okay? So it's basically just a fill in the blank. Now, if you don't have Keynote on your laptop, I actually recommend using Keynote because Keynote is the best. What you need to do is you need to go down to self-service, and I can't quite see it. There we go, self-service. And what you do is you'll go and type in Keynote and download it, okay? I really do recommend using Keynote. After you download it, then you can download the Keynote file and open that one up. And I'm going to go through all the options that you have here and show you how to actually type in your responses. So after you actually finish your presentation, you're going to save it as a PDF, and I'll show you how to do that. And then you're going to submit your assignment using the Upload tab, okay? After you finish, if you help support your colleagues who are struggling, you will earn 1 badge per day that you spend helping. Now, if you haven't checked out the raffle prizes, go check them out. It's in a folder on our main page. There are some really, really exciting prizes. I'm really happy about it this year. And I will be, you will be doing that raffle the last week, and I'll be sending them out during winter break to your homes, okay? Okay, so let me go ahead and give you a breakdown of how to use Keynote, PowerPoint, or Google Slides. Now, Google Slides should be the last option because a lot of people have issues with Google Slides. I don't know what it does with our laptops, but people's emails accounts don't necessarily always work with it. So let's go ahead and start with Keynote. So I'm going to unclick it, and it's going to download. And remember, you only have to do one of these. This is just multiple options for different, computers, because some people actually don't have Macs. Some people have PCs, and they have to use PowerPoint. So here's the Keynote. I'm going to go ahead and open it up. And here it is. This is the presentation. See how I said it was already pre-built for you? Well, here's the front page. Awesome. Don't have to do anything there. Now let's look at the second page. It says place a selfie here. Okay, so take a picture of yourself and upload it here. And that can be yourself. You could even just draw a picture of yourself if you wanted. Now the important thing is at the bottom, you need to put your name. So I'm going to put Ryan Edwards. Oops. And your class period. Now the class period for me is first period on B-Day, okay? So now that I have that and my selfie, I can move on to the next one. Now, this is where it gets interesting. It actually shows you how to get 100. So if you want to get 100 on this, follow these instructions. So this page is called the Seek Challenge page. It's asking, how much of a challenge did you actually seek? Did you go above and beyond your efforts, with your efforts? So let's look at emerging, okay? So if you follow it down here, and here it says emerging, developing, proficient, and advanced. So a student built a rocket identical to the rocket created in the tutorial workshops. So basically, if you just made the tiny little rocket that flies, you got a 70, okay? This one says student built a rocket based on traditional rocket designs without any variation. I'm talking about very basic rocket designs here, like the picture that I showed you. Where it's just where we first learned about rockets, that picture, that's pretty basic, so you'd probably be getting an 80 for that one. Student built a rocket based on traditional rocket designs with unique variation. What that means is maybe you changed the color or you changed the pattern, but it's still just a really basic rocket design. Now, this one, the 100, is a student built a non-traditional rocket based on unique and original designs. So that means you built a rocket that looked like an Among Us character, or you even built a rocket that looks like an actual NASA rocket. So if you actually made it look like a model of a NASA rocket, I also count that as 100 as well. What I'm talking about for these lower ones is that it's just more of a basic straight tube, okay? So once you do that, or once you look at those, what I want you to do is you place pictures of your rockets here. So you take screenshots. If you built your rocket in the real world, take a picture of it and upload it here. If you did your drawing, if you were doing an actual labeled drawing, the art piece, take a picture of it and upload that here as well. After you do that, I want you to grade yourself. Take the star, move it to where you think you deserve, what grade you deserve, okay? After that one, let's go to slide 4. And so right there, this is a summative assessment grade. You could easily get 100 or 90. That's an awesome grade as well. Actually, all these grades are pretty awesome, so I'm really excited to see what y'all produce. Okay, moving on. Grow from setbacks. How does a student develop solutions to overcome challenges in the build process? Now, this is where you're going to prove to me that you overcame some setbacks. So all you have to do is click here, and you see how it can highlight it, and you just type, describe one setback you faced. I had difficulty building in Minecraft. Okay, so that's mine. Okay, yours could be something different. Describe the solution you came up with to solve that setback. Now, I know a lot of you decided to, what did you decide to do? You decided to build it in the real world instead. Decided to build my rocket in the real world instead. That is you coming up with a solution to a setback that you had, okay? You have to do 2 of these, okay? Because if you look down here, it says in order to get 100, student is able to describe multiple setbacks and solutions. All I'm asking is for 2. So come up with 2 different setbacks and 2 solutions that you had for it. After you're done, drag the star and grade yourself. Right now, I only have 1. Let's see which word that would put me. Student is able to describe a setback and a solution. I would have a 90. Okay, let's go ahead and go over to the next one. The next one is where I'm going to upload the pictures of my brainstorm draft and my original draft. Now you'll notice down here the grades are different. I'm not having 4 different levels of grades, I only have 2. You either get a 70 or 100 or somewhere in between. So we didn't actually have enough time to do all 4 drafts that I wanted us to do, so we only did 2 drafts. So to get 100, student has a brainstorm draft and an original draft of their rocket. If student only has a brainstorm draft, you get a 70, okay? So if you only have one of these, you'll be getting a 70. If you have both these pictures, you'll be getting 100. So upload your brainstorm draft pictures here, okay? This is part of the meeting the benchmarks. So were you actually able to meet each of the required benchmarks? Okay, let's see. Final page is the feedback page. So I want you to tell me 4 pieces of feedback that you used. And if you look down here at the grading rubric, it says 1 of 4 implemented, 2 of 4 implemented, 3 of 4 implemented, and 4 of 4 implemented. So I want you to be able to show me that you used 4 pieces of feedback. Now what's a feedback? Well, remember, it's one of those things that we did when we were critiquing our colleagues' designs. Some of them told you to change where the trigger was. Some of them told you to change the color. So maybe a piece of feedback you got was to change the color. So the feedback was, feedback 1 was, I changed the color of my rocket to red, okay? Another piece of feedback might have been about the nose cone. Maybe someone said to change the shape of the nose cone. I made the nose cone pointier. Okay, so I need you to do 4 of these. Now remember, if you only do 3, that's a 90. If you do 2, it's an 80. And if you do 1, it's a 70. Remember, at the end of this, please drag your star to where you think you deserve, what grade you think you deserve. It's okay if you think you deserve 100. A lot of you are going to deserve 100 for this, okay? After you're done, and you've made sure that you've filled out everything, you're going to go up to the top, and where it says File, you're going to click File, and you're going to click Export to PDF. Okay, because I don't want you to upload a Keynote. I want you to upload a PDF. PDFs are a little bit more stable. So you're going to click Export to PDF, and then when this pops up, you don't need to click anything, just click Next, and you'll get to decide where you're saving it. I recommend saving it to your desktop just because that's a safe place to find it. And then, well, usually you should save it in your documents, but if you're trying to find it quickly, it's good to have it on your desktop. So I'm going to go ahead and click Export, and I'm going to go ahead and exit out of this. And let's see if I have my PDF. Where did it go? I have two screens here, so I got to figure out where my PDF went. Here it is. Okay, so here's my PDF. When I click on it, it opens it up as a PDF, and it's just a bunch of pages that I can scroll through, okay? So once I have that, I'll take it and I will go to Submit Assignment, go to Upload, and I will upload it there. And you'll do the same thing for PowerPoint, and you'll do the same thing for Google Slides. Now I'm going to go ahead and show you how to use PowerPoint real quick, and then I'll show you how to use Google Slides. So I'm not going to go through how to fill in everything. I'm just going to show you how to create the PDF. So you click on PowerPoint, you download it. Everything's exactly the same. You fill in everything exactly the same as you did with the other one. And once it's all plugged in, you're going to go up to File. You're going to go to Export, and you're going to make sure it says PDF, okay? Then you can save it to your desktop again. Exit out. And here is my other PDF from PowerPoint, okay? Awesome. So I don't need that one anymore. And then finally, I have the Google Slides option. You really shouldn't use it unless you are desperate, unless you don't have Keynote or PowerPoint. But here's the Google Slides option. When you click on the link right up here, it's going to open up a Google Slide. You're going to have to go to File first and then go to Make a Copy of the entire presentation. And then click OK, and it'll make a copy to your drive. Now the drive is associated, if you're having issues, try logging into your school email account. That should help it work, I think. Your school email account through Google. If you just type in the same stuff, I believe it should still work. So once you have that, you'll make a copy. And then what I want you to do is go ahead and fill in everything. And then after you're done, go to Download. And in Download, it says PDF document. Click on there. It's going to download it as a PDF. Oh, boom. It's downloading it right here. Click on it. Let's see what we got. And here's my finished PDF, and then I'll upload that. Again, I prefer if you used Keynote. Don't hesitate to ask any questions, team, or if you have any problems or hiccups, reach out to me. And also, don't be afraid to ask your colleagues for help, okay? I know some of us are a little bit behind, and that's totally fine. You'll have plenty of time to get caught up in the next 2 weeks, okay? I look forward to seeing your presentations, and keep up the phenomenal work. Don't forget to look at the raffle folder. It's really, really exciting, okay? I'll see y'all in class. Peace.